Hey guys, you're watching Mirage Gaming with Mizo. Today we're going to jump into another online battle I've got saved up for you. It's a 2v2, Baktria and Carthage. I'm playing as Baktria, and Pretzel's playing as Carthage. We're going up against Rome and the Arverni. I went with, because I figured if I chose Baktria they would think I would choose pikes or swords. So I went all cav and one unit of elephants. The Arverni player went... Now we'll look at his stuff on the map once we get down to the battle. But I really wanted to surprise him and catch him off guard, because I'm not too bad with horse archers. I'm probably not the best at microing, and that's what having a full cav army really requires you to do. So I thought, why not try it out? So we're playing on Nemesis, which I think is the only map I'll showcase. And that's just the way it happened, I guess. It's a nice map. There's not many terrain disadvantages or not. So my ally has Libyan infantry, 3 of them, I think, maybe 6. Nope, 4 Libyan infantry, 1 noble fighters, and Italian swordsmen. And then he's got 4 late Libyan hoplites on the front, 3 Balearic slingers, 3 Iberian cav. I've got 3 Bactrian horse archers over here, and 3 Bactrian noble horse over there. On this flank, I've got my general unit of Bactrian Royal Cav, Indian Armored Elephants, 3 units of horse archers supported by 3 units of Bactrian Noble Horse. The Arverni troop brought 2 heavy horse, I think, yep, maybe 4 heavy horse, and then Celtic warriors, and then chosen swordsmen. So he's got a variety, single file infantry line, and his general's in a unit of noble horse. The Roman player, which I didn't really pay much mind to, brought 3 Syrian archers, a unit of velites, 2 Saki extraordinary, Praetorian Guard, legionaries, another unit of legionaries, his generals and general and bodyguard, and then he brought some shock cav and the Saki equities, and then auxiliary cav and Praetorian cav and flying wedge. So I want to immediately put some kind of pressure on his flank over here. The goal was to do one of these, or even harass the flanks of his infantry line. There were no skirmishers that I saw on this side, and we'll figure that part out in a bit. But I did have a major cav advantage on his heavy horse. They're not bad cav at all, but they can't hold a candle to noble horse. Check out their stats. Just better armor. I think they're charge. No, these guys are better charge, but these guys are a little bit better in a grind out, I think. 42, 29, 40, yeah. They're just a bit better. So, it looks like here he's gonna try and snipe my general. So at this point I'm moving all this cav around here. And he's gonna see it, and he's gonna think twice about this little maneuver here. And I eventually set the cav up like this, and I think like this. Not like that, actually. That's fucked up. You know it's fucked up. So, here we see 4 units of longbow or Gaelic hunters. And that was petrifying for me. So I was thinking about, let's just go back and deal with them later. I decided against it and just charged him head on. 5 units? Are you serious? Yeah, 5 units, and then he's going to put pressure on me with these heavy horse. I do something kind of stupid, but I realize that they can fire while they're moving, so I pull them back, and I get a volley off. So I'm going to flex my muscles a bit with these Bactrian Noble Horse, and just try and take care of heavy horse there so I can harass his archers and only have to deal with weak infantry. These cav are starting to move up. I should have brought them over a bit sooner. I did want to keep this line in check. And on this flank, see, this is tough to do. Yeah, and they're just duking it out over here. He's firing on him with the Balearic slingers, and then his Syrian archers are finding the Carthaginian player. He's moving men over, and this guy's an amazing player. I've played with him a few times, and he's kicked my ass every single time. I'll show some of those too. Yeah, so they're clashing it out over there. And I couldn't pay attention to that side of the battle a lot while I was doing this, just because the amount of micro I needed. But I do give these horse archers a solid attack order, and even when they run out of ammunition, they're still kind of useful. Even for pinning units, so I can hit them hard with heavier shot cav, or even these sturdy melee cav, or even my elephants. I mean, the elephants are a huge part of this battle. This is probably the most, skin of your teeth battle I've ever seen, personally. And so over here, I'm already starting to drop the morale of these men as the grind out continues. And even though these guys are heavy melee cav and these guys are medium, oh no, they're heavy. Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. These guys are medium, but again, the quality of the Bactrian troops are a lot better than the barbarian ones. He brings in his general to help support the cav fight a bit, and his general's already taking a good amount of losses. He got some kills on the charge, but other than that, not much. So I'm going to start to move my general up just to provide a morale bonus, because I do see my men starting to get steady instead of confident. And all the while I'm just firing into his archers, hoping that the units of archers that are firing in his mess here are doing more friendly fire than anything productive. But with all this infantry here, against all this cav, there's not much he can do. I can sacrifice a unit or two of cav, and then just hammer and anvil charge, so he's starting to move his guys around more. I used the wrong thing. So he's starting to put guys here, and I'm worried about these elephants. I don't want them to get too close to the archers, so they don't run amok and start destroying my horse archers or any of my cav. I brought no infantry, which is really different. It's a different playstyle for me, and I'm not used to it at all. But I did really enjoy this build for Baktria, and I don't think it would work one-on-one, but for something like this is perfect. Just to tie down the Arverni troops long enough for my Carthaginian ally to really put dents in the Roman troops. So one of my noble hordes are starting to waver, and so are one of his Gaelic hunters. These archers are starting to go. They're taking huge casualties, but the kills on these guys are, it's great. Oh yeah, we're doing okay. I did charge one of the Bactrian light horse, which I think was my throwaway unit. It was right in there, just to hold him down for a bit, because I did not want to get enveloped by any means, and then have to fight my way out of a chosen sword box type deal. This would have been a mess. I guess I can't draw lines today. Something like that would have been a terrible deal. So my elephants end up running amok, and they're going to do some devastating damage to some of this infantry. And they really turn the tide of the battle. They really help me to keep pressure where I want pressure put, which is mainly on this area of the battle, while these guys are just pinned down and taken care of. I don't know if these guys can throw javelin or not, but they're not for some reason. And they're just going to get hit with constant archer fire. I mean, these guys are taking 9 losses. But the horse archers are doing a really good job at keeping his guys kind of cautious, and he can't just swarm over, because he's going to be afraid to take too many casualties, taking out my small force, before he can help reinforce his Roman ally. On this flank over here, it's looking like it can go either way. The infantry fight is not looking bad, but he does have a cav. The Carthaginian player has a cav disadvantage over here for sure. And I should have probably kept a unit or two of cav up there for him. Back over here, we're doing okay. These elephants are still running amok. Almost 150 kills on them, and I've barely had to control them. Which is nice when they run amok strategically. But he's just pouring in fire arrows, and that's keeping his Gaelic hunter tied up, which is not bad at all. It is also lowering his own men's morale, as you can see with the friendly fire he's just giving. And you couple that with the scare tactic, or the scare factor of the elephants, and that's really not a good thing to have over here. He doesn't realize that as quickly as he should have. I am starting to win this big cav mob over here. You can see the morale of his men are starting to go. I do think, yep, see there goes his general. I think his general might have died recently. And this noble horse is starting to get more shaken, but these horse archers are just keeping everything balanced in here. And we are going to start to move on over and put pressure over here. If I had maybe one less unit of horse archers and one more noble horse, I would have been able to deal with his cav. But I really just ran out of manpower. I'm still pretty confident that between my general and this unit of noble horse, I'll be able to take care of it. But I am going to just start to move these guys out and start to destroy the rest of his infantry. Maybe incur like a morale penalty for army losses on the rest of his cav. That was the dream, at least. So these elephants are still doing phenomenal. I mean, 500 kills and almost no control over them, which is great. I think he puts his men in a shield wall to give them that defensive bonus they get. And that's definitely not a bad move at all. Kind of cheap that the game even has that in it, or you can just get the defense and bracing bonus while you're in the middle of the grind out. The Carthaginian player over here is really having some difficulty in the infantry fight with the Roman, and that's to be expected. In all honesty, he didn't bring, you know, as quality troops as the Roman did. I mean, the Praetorians are phenomenal units. I mean, 309 kills on that one, and they're just starting to go. 357, and they've lost not even 60 men. So phenomenal job on the Romans' part. But we are really starting to wrap up what's going on over here. My men are starting to run out of ammunition, which is terrible. You know, I can't rely on holding them down with the unit, shooting them in the back for too much longer. My general is just duking it out with these chosen swordsmen, and that fight is going to go pretty well. I mean, he's already racked up a good amount of kills. Hasn't quite paid for himself yet, but he's just keeping these guys occupied, and these guys are flanking in. So I see that these guys just ran out of ammo anyway. So I'm going to try to prolong getting crazily flanked by 2 units of infantry. So he turns to face my men, which is not a bad call at all. They were a little too thin, so I can break through with a charge on the horse archers. And these guys also ran out of ammunition. Nope, they've got one more shot left actually. And we're just trying to swarm this so I can bring my general over and do some hammer and anvil strikes with both those cavalry units. I am going to lose that one, and boys, that sucks. But I see that things aren't going my way over here. So I'm just waiting for his chosen swords to break over here. And I'm going to use my general to come back in and finish the job before this gets tied up and starts to swing men over to support, destroying the rest of my forces. And I've only got 2 units left. The Roman player here, you know, his micro wasn't the best. Oh, never mind. He's on top of it. He's on his game. So he's going to bring those slingers back in. You know, his infantry is decimated, and they're just wavering. He is trying to snipe out the general to incur that morale penalty. His slingers are going to get a flying wedge charge by Praetorian Cav, which isn't going to go well for him at all. So he's going to try and bring, you know, his general bodyguard over, and these slingers just to hold his men. And at this point, I figure if I can just come over here, take out his general, and even help out a little bit by taking out the archers, that wouldn't be bad. And these Praetorian Guard are depleted. They're still combat effective, and they have 460 kills. But he starts to see my guys coming over, and I'm not too concerned about these 2 chasing me. I mean, the heavy horse are exhausted, but they lost only 5 men, and they killed 54, which isn't bad. He did have the Gaelic hunters shooting into the cav fight blob. But as you can see, this fight's going to stretch on for another 2 minutes or so, and it's real close. At this point in the fight, I was feeling real confident that we could rout his units if his slingers could keep the Roman player in one place, so I can hammer and anvil them. I do get a pretty nice charge with these horse archers into the flank of the Praetorian Guard and into the rear of the auxiliary Syrian archers. This guy's heavy horse is coming in pretty hot, even though it's exhausted. And his men start to go over here, and his velites finally start to crack, as well as the Syrian archers. His Praetorian Guard are actually, they're starting to fall to these horse archers, which wouldn't have happened if they had maybe 15 more men left. That's a lucky charge there. So the only two things I'm worried about are these Praetorians and these the swordsmen could easily be hammered and anviled if we could get enough units to rout whatever's left over here. So I charged my depleted general's unit into his general's bodyguard, or legatus, whatever he brought. General and bodyguard. I did lose my general, which sucks, but what are you gonna do? I do rout this unit here, and these guys are pretty confident actually for some reason. It's kind of cool. So it comes down to 2 units for us left, and he's got like 5 or 4, which sucks. I do get a good charge into the Praetorian cav. He did a great job holding them in place with his slingers, and I'm gonna just start to chew him out. But he's gonna get a rear charge into the back of these slingers here, and that's really gonna be game set and match. I try to pull these guys back so I can get another charge in. He sees that, pulls his men out to meet mine, and this is basically all she wrote. It was such a close battle. There's a good amount of skill in the game today, and I'd love to play with these guys again. Phenomenal jobs. I mean, maybe if I brought better cav or even more melee cav, I would have had this in the bag. Who knows? The elephants did an amazing job just racking up kills, and you can see that I broke his Praetorian cav, and if only these guys had more men, or I had maybe a unit of light horse or something, I'd be able to win that, but that was it. Good game to whoever. Colwyn Yu and Nacho Freak. Pretzel did great. So I hardly deployed any men, but you see the kills on these elephants, and the horse archers on average did amazing. These guys really helped keep people in place while I could pepper them with arrows and whatnot. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is Mizo signing off. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, just dislike, leave a nasty comment, or whatever you feel is necessary. And we will see you guys next time.